I'm really good at not going immediately on in the morning, and I also don't scroll when I'm trying to wind down. So I might do other things on my phone when I'm trying to wind down.
Like what?
I'm known to play an occasional game of solitaire or something.
Wild.
I know, such a problem.
Welcome to The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on. I'm Claire.
And I'm Janice. We are breakup coaches, here to help you beat your breakup,
Heal your broken heart,
and move on to an amazing, abundant life.
Welcome to X-Files, everybody. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Janice. How are you?
I'm great. Things are so great right now.
Yes.
And most of all, X-Files is great. And we're just having such a good time with the show, and things are happening so much in X-Files land. We have our Patreon. We've got great episodes coming out, lots of plans and things going on. So thank you to everyone out there for being part of the community and for being supporters of the show. If you want to take it to the next level, so to speak, and work one-on-one with both, well, not with both of us. I guess you could.
You could.
I guess why not go for it?
Yeah.
But currently, Claire and I see clients separately. If you think one of us might be a match for you,
Yes.
I think the best thing to do is to hit us up on Instagram. That's where I at least hang out the most.
Yeah.
Send us a DM. We will be in touch quickly with information on what that would look like for you.
Awesome. Yeah, we both have very different styles. So I think, people will probably be drawn to either one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but today we are talking about a social media digital detox, what have you. We often talk about the benefits of blocking your ex on social media. And I think we've even said that after a breakup, it's a good time to spend less time on social media anyways.
Yes.
But today we're going to talk about why a full-blown social media detox could be a good idea.
Yep. I like this for people after a breakup. I think, like we often talk about after a breakup, it's such a good time to think about things like personal development and where you might want to make changes in your life. And this could be a really, really great opportunity for you to kind of re-examine your social media usage. And yes, as we will talk about, there's lots of reasons why you don't necessarily need to, or it would behoove you to step back from social media. I know, so often I hear from people that, they get sidetracked because of seeing this or that. And it's like, well, how about prevent yourself from seeing it?
Yeah. Just for a short time, we're not recommending that you, move to the woods and disconnect from all technology, It's just when you're particularly fragile, after a breakup, social media's negative effects, I think, can be felt a lot more.
Absolutely.
I know we both have a history of taking time off of social media. Janice, do you want to tell us about how you took time off of Facebook, I think, after breakups?
Yeah. I did end up I took a very intentional break where I said I will not be going on Facebook for really until I felt better. It ended up being 2 weeks. And this was after I broke up with Laundry Boy back in Melbourne. As I've mentioned many times, I was in a very big social network when I was in Australia, and we were in the same social network. And I mean, I don't know. I had regrets about the fact that we had been so public about our relationship. And because I had posted, we had both posted so much about our relationship, I just knew that the fact that now we were, suddenly not posting pictures of ourselves every day, that it would just be obvious to everyone. And that was just kind of in my head a lot, that I don't know, shame, embarrassment, and also just not wanting to deal with that. I decided, to take a break from Facebook. And also I was definitely having the resentment at everyone who's happy vibes going on. So I just knew I didn't want to expose myself to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And especially I don't know, I think my kind of network right now, a lot of people are in that like 25 to 32-ish range. Like, and it's like every day someone's getting engaged or someone's having a baby on Facebook. And so if those are triggers for you and you're like just going through a breakup and you're like, well, shit.
And I do also hear from people that they struggle with seeing that their friends are getting engaged when they've just broken up with someone. As someone who's don't know if I'm going to get married again, I don't like fully get that, but I know that it can get in your head.
Yeah, it's a common trigger we hear about.
So. Yeah. I mean, and look, just don't expose yourself to it. I you know what, to be honest, I think I might have deactivated my account, to be honest. I know that I deleted it from my phone. Yes. Yeah. And I just, you don't have to delete it. You don't need to start completely over. The really cool thing about Facebook, at least, is that you can go in and deactivate your account with just a couple clicks. And then when you're ready, you can come back in and activate your account again. It's really simple. In fact, this isn't completely related, but I've also really struggled with the birthday blues. And I've so much so that for a couple of years, I would go in and deactivate my Facebook account in like the couple days before and after my birthday, because I just couldn't handle this posting on your wall on your birthday. I didn't do that this year. And one reason being, so I took 2 weeks off of Facebook. And I was in such a bad mood. I don't think I posted on Instagram, but I think I probably went in there. But when I came back to Facebook, I wasn't really that into Facebook anymore. And just so everyone doesn't think that I'm so unhip, this was like 4 or 5 years ago when Facebook was like really popular. So, and also I have to say, I was a Facebook junkie. I used it so much. I posted so often. I posted status updates constantly. I was definitely one of the people that like hung out there all the time. So it was a big deal for me not to do it. But really one of the best things is when I came back from it, I had such little desire to post anything. I don't think I posted a status update since I've moved to America. That's 3 years. Maybe who knows, I might have done it once. Yesterday, I got really spontaneous. And so I currently use Facebook because I do event planning for the ex-Mormon community here in Colorado. And I do it for the X-Files Facebook group. I am active in our Facebook group. I want everyone to know who's listening. So yesterday I went on there to do something for the ex-Mormon group. And I saw an article on childless women, responses that they give to people when they're asked why they don't have kids. And I want to say also, one of the things I'll talk about later is I do not scroll on Facebook. I don't go into, the so-called feed. I just kind of go to my groups and leave it at that. But I opened it and saw this article. Anyways, I posted it. And people were like getting in touch with me, like, Janice, you're here. How are you? Because it's so rare for me to post. But when I saw this article, I was like, we need to be talking about this more. Anyways, so that was a very good outcome.
Yes. We had one success in 3 years.
We got her back. But I have to say, I felt, and I still feel that Facebook isn't a positive space for me. I don't really feel the need to be telling everyone my business right now. I noticed that I feel like for whatever reason, it attracts a lot of negativity, which, we'll talk about. It's probably, possibly designed that way. I found myself without a desire to do it much more. I hang out on Instagram now, but I would say, I don't know if I would say it was difficult, probably because I'm such a disciplined person, but I will say one thing that I think everyone can relate to is that it helped me a lot. Breakup and just focusing on myself and my own healing and eliminating that from the equation. Absolutely one of the best things I did.
Yeah, completely. I took time off of posting after my big breakup moment. Um, and that wasn't like intentional. It was just that every time I got on there, like I was still very sad. And didn't really have anything I wanted to share. And it just felt like very hollow and like fakey to be like posting something about like how awesome life was, you know?
Yeah. Well,
So
and
I
also
think,
one of the tips that we gave in the social media after a breakup episode was it's really not a good look to be going on there and putting out like negative stuff and telling people how much you're hurting. And, you know, for so many reasons, you know, you don't have consent to do that. You know, negativity breeds negativity. So yeah, that's a great point, Claire. If you're not feeling positive and you don't want to share something super negative, maybe just skip it all together.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, but I think I still, you know, scrolled and stuff on social media, but it just didn't feel as good. Um, this episode in particular came up because I've been feeling so addicted to social media, and I was doing my own kind of research into it. And I'm like, all right, I need some motivation to do a little break from social media. And having an episode to prepare for gave me the spine it took to take myself off of the infinite feed varieties. So we'll go more into that later, but basically like I just didn't really feel in control anymore. And it's like kind of like that thing you hear about with alcoholics where it's like, you know, you don't feel like super drawn to taking that first drink, but once you do, you can't stop, you know? And if I logged on, I would not be there for just a little. It's like I'd be there all day. So it's kind of like I'd try to delay it as much as possible, and eventually I'd be like, "Oh, it's okay. I can totally just go on for 5 minutes." No. And yeah, and that's mostly TikTok, really. So yeah, my screen time every day was out of hand, and that's even for someone who, you know, like I am on socials promoting the podcast a lot of the time. And that made it hard for me to like not just start scrolling, basically. Um I think especially TikTok has like a lot of positives as well. Like probably half of my clients in sessions have mentioned TikTok.
Okay.
During sessions, has that happened for you? Or
I mean, you know, I think this is just a good example. Such different things happen between our clients. I've never been a TikTok person, so maybe for some reason I'm not attracting other TikTok people. So I guess I would say, you know, of course it comes up, TikTok's popular, but I wouldn't say as much as it sounds like it does for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, like I think it can be a starting place, like an introduction for positive concepts about relationships and communication, self-care, and all these things. And that's usually how it comes up. It's not like, oh, I saw something funny. It's like, oh, I saw this thing on TikTok. I'd like to talk about it more with you and actually learn more about it, which is positive, I think. You know, it's like germinating ideas. But it can also germinate like negative ideas, right? So yeah. So why would you take a break?
As we mentioned, FOMO and comparison. I know that people struggle with this for a variety of reasons. I think it's important to remember people are definitely posting the best of their lives on there. There's also, I've heard lots and lots and lots and lots of stories about how some people aren't even real, perhaps maybe especially on Instagram. If you struggle with, especially after a breakup, thinking that everyone else's relationship is so happy, everyone else has it together, everyone's getting engaged, having babies, not Not sure why you know that would make you jealous, but just,
well,
I know
do want to have babies.
People want that, but
exactly.
And so it can just really quickly, you can very quickly start to feel like you are the one with the problems and not everybody else. And why does everyone else have it together and not me? That is absolutely not what you need after a breakup.
No, exactly. And also, like, can we talk about the fact that socials are fake? Hot take, but you know, even if someone's getting engaged or something, like, it doesn't mean that their relationship is actually even good. Like,
I really want to remind people this. I don't know how important this is to say, but the number of people who are in healthy, happy relationships is actually, it's the minority. I know this because of what I do. I know this because of having lots of friends. I know this because of life experience. You know, however, when you're looking at a picture of, you know, a gorgeous, happy couple, it's easy to forget that you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of people really want to make their relationships work. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the relationship that you want to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
I know for me, sometimes I kind of would overcompensate on social media when my relationships weren't going well. I don't know if other people do that, but it could be something to remember. You know, we talked about the birthday post that I sent my ex in a recent episode from like 12 years ago, where I was saying, you know, he was the most supportive partner a woman could ask for. Like, seriously, gag me with a spoon. I remember we were having so many problems when I wrote that. I remember, and I was trying to save the relationship. You know, I was trying to, you know, let him know how much I cared about him. But if you would, I mean, we were really, really struggling at that point.
Yeah. And also there's, you know, I think if it's not like, oh my God, how stupid of them for trying to like compensate. No, that's not what we're saying at all. In fact, it could be someone who's like, okay, like you know, I know that I have to say things in the present tense in order to train my mind to be grateful for things. Like, maybe it's not that the relationship is bad. Maybe they just don't want to be in it anymore. And they're trying desperately to get back into the
1,000%. Yes.
wanting to stay. And they're like, look how amazing this is, because I'm trying to convince myself right now. Like, you know?
I mean, we must have broken up like not even six months later. And it's not, I'm not judging anyone for doing this. I'm just saying, if you're struggling with a breakup or recovering from a breakup, it's really easy to just think everyone's wonderful. And I say, skip it all together.
Skip it all together.
Because it's not.
But
even if it was, but okay, so let's go on.
Another thing is social media is made to be addictive. Watch The Social Dilemma if this is a new concept to you. I'm sure this probably isn't, but I think especially when you're in a like a really hard place emotionally, a lot of people will go to social media to kind of just distract themselves and numb out and not think about their life. And I think that if you lean into that too heavily, you're gonna coming out the other side is going to be harder, because now your whole existence is based around, you know, like what you see online, instead of making new, like, in-person new friendships, new in-person experiences and stuff. And as things open up more again, like, those are options and would be much healthier, mentally healthier options to, if you're going to distract yourself, do it with in-person things that are not made to be like addictive and kind of trap you in a cycle, you know?
Great point. Of course, there is the potential to be triggered. You could see your ex, as we said, other couples who seem happy. And, you know, I have to say, I have been so surprised at the types of things that I've heard clients say triggers them to think about their ex when they go on social media. You know, things like seeing a family member of their ex or a friend of their ex or someone doing their ex's hobby, or like things that I would not think would, correlate, but they do, because you're having withdrawals from the person. And so it's very easy to be reminded of them when you're looking at so many photos and so much imagery and so much content of people all over the world.
Yeah.
And you don't need that. You need to be doing things that will make you feel good right now, not things that could potentially hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. And, things will trigger you in the real world as well, but at least it'll be less frequent and less difficult.
Yeah. We have loved creating free and accessible healing resources for people around the world who are looking for support on their breakups, broken hearts, and moving on journeys. Each day, we receive DMs from many of you who have let us know the positive impact X-Files is making in your life. Our vision for the second year of our show is something that we both feel so completely. We are looking forward to continuing to share useful resources each week, but also expanding our offerings to help people go more deeply with their healing and growth.
Part of our vision is expanding the connection with our community. And to do that, we are thrilled to be launching the X-Files Patreon. Growing this aspect of our community will allow us to keep creating great content for everyone each week, and also start developing even more healing resources and support. We would love for you to be part of the first group of the X-Files patrons. So head to the link in the show notes now to sign up for either the $5 or the $10 level. And we will both be looking forward to connecting with you very soon. Another reason socials can be very toxic. It seems like everyone's angry about something. There's always something terrible happening in the world. I know for me, like I started when I was working at the nonprofit, I was coordinating the large animal rescue team. There's plenty of fires in California, so that became my thing. When there was a fire, I would just like binge on KUIT and like all of the news about the fire, and I would be tracking it that way. And I recognize that same pattern with other world events now too. So it's like first it was Trump being elected, and then it was like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying, and then it was like,
Trump not getting elected.
Yay, thank God.
I mean, that was more of a positive thing.
That was a positive thing.
But right.
Ukraine, like that sent me down a spiral of, binging TikToks for weeks, a couple weeks. And now I can't do it anymore because it like affected me so much. I was just absolutely gutted. And now it's happening again with current events
with the Supreme Court. I'm gonna talk about that for sure. I mean, we already know what's going on. We don't need to look at everyone's anger over it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh boy. So a break from social media can also help you get to know yourself without hours of distraction. This is such a good point. You completely, yes, like Claire said, you numb yourself out. You don't think about what you want. You get overstimulated, and you forget what you want out of life and who you are. And I think maybe one of my equivalents to the social media detox would be when I decided in Melbourne that I wasn't going to socialize for a while, because I was just so overstimulated all of the time. And I think social media played into it, because the Melbourne community was on Facebook like no one's business. I forgot what I wanted out of life. So taking a break helped me regroup big time. And similarly, It helps you to be in the present moment. I love this. This is one reason why I love to, solo travel. And when I solo travel, I typically don't really post that much. If I have a great photo, as with my current trip, I'll post it. But, normally I'm posting on Instagram multiple times a day. And that's because when I travel, I just want to, just be with the moment. And I assure you that if you can cut down on your social media intake, you will find that you're a lot more mindful and that you're enjoying the moments a lot more. It's hard to believe, but you'll start to notice, I'm sure.
Definitely. So this is usually the section of the episode where we discuss what research indicates. However, for this topic, the research was all over the place.
Oh, really?
Whatever your opinion, you can find research to support it. And what was really interesting is that it was actually quite difficult on Google Scholar to find things that supported the fact that social media is bad for your mental health or that it's bad for your self-esteem.
What? Oh, that is surprising.
Yeah. There were plenty of studies that were made on that basis. It's just that they didn't prove it, which
I don't know. I have people
because we've all felt
it hurts them. And it hurt me.
I know it. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know if there's like interests interfering with research or something. There was research about, like teens and stuff, but nothing that was really focused on adults.
But there is research that clearly indicates that seeing a picture of your ex after a breakup does hurt. Yeah. And we've talked about studies where people, had the same triggers in their brain as they would with other painful experiences. And so if you, there's that correlation.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think, just maybe this research isn't super readily available or something on Google Scholar, which is what I usually use. So, be that what it is, right? One thing that's related to social media detoxing is like a complete dopamine detox. Which is where you cut out everything that kind of is, I guess, online that's going to be giving you that like burst of dopamine. So that includes like podcasts and shit, which I did not do. I did not do. And some people say, hey, a dopamine detox is actually impossible because you can never just stop your brain from releasing dopamine. And just, they say, the whole thing is kind of a hoax. Some people say that socials are training our brains to have trouble focusing on longer tasks or things that don't give us such a rush of neurochemicals. And I totally feel that. Like I've talked about it with friends as well. I actually did my version of a social media detox with my friend Chris, and she, has been
this one recently?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. She did it too?
The same thing. Yeah, she did it. We did it the same we did on Monday through Friday. So.
That's awesome. I hope that you'll tell us more about it. I think that's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. So highly recommend doing it with a friend if you decide to do this.
Well, it's great for a breakup because you're going to be connecting with someone on
a real person,
something kind of challenging and something kind of, confronting. But then you also have the chance, to
like actually bond and
relate to each other and support each other, which is great. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So for me, I definitely feel the impact of short form content on my ability to concentrate and my ability to focus. Just to illustrate this, right? I've been on Facebook for like way more than 10 years and Instagram for probably like 8 or 9 years. And nothing compares to the past couple years of being on TikTok. And nothing compares. Like the addiction level is ridiculous. And I've just felt like the most negative impacts of social media than I've ever felt. There's the Social Dilemma, the movie talks about this, where it's like the intermittent reinforcement of the like infinite scroll, the For You page, where it's like you don't know what's coming next. Is it going to be something super amazing or is it not? And it's like your brain is like, ooh, just keep going because maybe we'll get like a really good hit next. It's like what gambling is based on. And you know, the highly emotionally engaging content in snack-sized pieces was hurting my ability to focus on anything less rewarding, even entertainment-wise, let alone like my work or my goals, or you know, it just was really interfering. And so for me, like, I wasn't necessarily trying to do a dopamine detox. I was more detoxing from the habit of what social media is, you know?
That's a great point.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I think we'll talk about it, but during the week when I was like, okay, no Instagram, no TikTok, because those are like the two infinite scrolls that I'm particularly bent towards. Literally anytime I had a spare moment, like my fingers would immediately take me to one of the two, and I'm like, whoa, no, and I'd like close it, and it's just like I wasn't even thinking. It's just like automatically muscle memory would just open up an app, and like, yeah, it's just such a problem. It's such a problem. So
that's something a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
I think also some people do it with dating apps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think anything you get in the habit of filling like any spare moment with, like that takes over. And then once you're in the feed, then all of the addictive properties of it start working on you, and it's hard to put it down. And so if you can work on the habit of not picking it up in the first place, then, you know, you're gonna enter the cycle less, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that frees up a lot of time to think about other things, to do other things, to clean your apartment.
Yes. Which is actually highly chemically rewarding in your brain chemistry. So
So why consider a digital detox after a breakup?
So it's clear that social media has a negative impact on our mental health. And even on a good day, scrolling opens the door to the worst of the world landing at your feet, making even a good day feel kind of privileged and Pollyanna-ish. So, like, how could you have a good day when there's so much injustice in the world? And then you mix in a devastating breakup and possibly unprocessed trauma, and you just let the For You page take a stab at your Rolodex of triggers. Like, it's just not safe. So I did a social media break.
Very recently, everyone. You know, Claire's proof that you can do it. And I know that she did have a little bit of a TikTok addiction because she talked to me quite a bit about it. So I think it's really important. You know, you did this and other people can do it too.
Yeah, exactly. And it was important to me that I did it before we did an episode on it. So I wasn't like, do this. And I can't. I can. I did it. So my rules were no Instagram and no TikTok, because those were the two things that like I always had the addiction and the pull to. So anything with an infinite scroll, basically. I'm not really on Snapchat a lot, so I didn't really have a problem with not doing it. I didn't go on Snapchat the whole time, but it wasn't on my list of things to avoid because, you know, it's just easy. I wasn't on it. But I did allow YouTube because what I had been finding is that I was not able to concentrate on a full YouTube video before this detox. And so I'm like, you can watch YouTube, you can listen to podcasts, anything long form, anything over 10 minutes, go for it. Because that actually is something is like, I want to be able to do this again without getting bored and feeling like I need to go do something else, because it's like, get to the point. I need, 30 seconds to a 3-minute video, and even 3 minutes is sometimes too long,
Did you find that it was more meaningful for it to be longer form at all?
Yes. I think so. Like, I think you can get deeper into topics and everything. Like, most of what I was watching on YouTube was like running blogs
Okay.
or like, you know, things about astrology and Reiki and shit. So, you know, it was like
Okay.
very educational themed.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, what was it like during the process? I mentioned before that it's like anytime I sat down and had a minute, like I would accidentally open something and close it really fast. So, you know, that happened. It was really helpful to be able to text Chris when I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. And
That's
she
great.
would like text me when it was hard for her. So that was awesome. Afterwards, my focus on work and long form content is much better now. Here's the thing. For the couple days afterwards, I did not feel like going on social media like at all. And like I recognized moments when I typically would have, and I did go on it a couple times, but it was easier to put it down, which was like the main thing. It's a lot like how you felt about Facebook when you came back. You were like, actually, I don't give a shit anymore.
It
was kind of like
in
that.
fact, I kind of wanted to get it back because, you know, it had been kind of an outlet for me. And I think that it did help me, you know, to numb or something. So I kind of wanted to get back into the swing of it. And I never did.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. But yeah, over the like 2 or 3 days afterwards, it did like on the third day I was using more social media than I did on the first day afterwards. And then I got a Reiki attunement. And so I think that really interfered because for the next week I was like, no, I don't feel like going on social media.
That's awesome.
And every time I did, like on Instagram, like I follow, you know, like probably 2/3 less people than I did at the beginning because every time I go on there since then, I unfollow people because I'm like, I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I just go down the feed and I just unfollow and unfollow and unfollow.
Oh, I haven't done that in a while. I probably should.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I think having a basically spiritual awakening during the Reiki attunement probably changes the impacts of the social media detox.
And that can happen after a breakup. You really can find that you look at life different. And if you're intentional about it, you could totally be a different person. Yeah. And I think maybe that's, you know, why I lost my interest because I was having, you know, an awakening at the time.
Yeah, you were becoming a different person. You were seeing through the whateverness. Yeah.
Well, Claire, I just love that. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you, you know, for the detox, you know, in to benefit the show. I think that it's wonderful. Have you noticed? I mean, at night, I know you used to go on TikTok quite a lot. Do you notice that you don't want to go on TikTok at night as much?
You know, it kind of depends on the night. Now it's more of an intentional thing. Last night I was on TikTok. The night before I wanted to do something else, and so I did. And so that was, you know, that's kind of the difference now. It's slightly less rewarding. It's so hard to judge because like we said earlier, like when terrible things are happening in the world, that kind of contributes to my social media use. And, you know, the past week has been, you know, a lot of that.
It's been a doozy. Kind of scary. Yes. Yeah. All right.
But it's good to know that I can and that I have the ability to. That's I think the main benefit for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. That's how I feel about some of my vices for sure, because I know that I can take it or leave it. I don't, you know, not feeling addicted or reliant on something is important to me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how to keep social media positive after a breakup. I thought I would share some of my tips / Claire asked me to share some of my tips. I do currently use Instagram quite a bit. And like I said, Facebook, I find that I gain a lot of positives out of it, including that I make new connections with people all of the time. I'm just sitting here thinking about close friends that I've met just in the past year on social media. So here are some of my tips. First of all, I have a pretty strict positive vibes only when it comes to social media. Personally, not in my life, but on social media, I do. So, yes, this has been challenging recently with what's happening in the Supreme Court. However, even with this on my mind, I'm conscious of not processing what I'm going through or what I'm feeling about it online. I read the news, I think about it, but not on social media. So that means that I pretty much only share positive posts, even when I'm talking about something from my past, which I do because I hope that it helps people. I put a positive spin on it. As someone who's, kind of has a public profile and as a coach and a podcaster, I will think about what I want to post, probably a week ahead of time. And first of all, I kind of think about what I want to share and the types of things that I want to post around. And then I kind of plan it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I also don't make negative comments on other people's posts.
Yeah. Boo.
I'm pretty strict about that. I know that sends some people into, kind of either a tailspin or a rabbit hole, or that can quickly find you, cycling and being caught up in the negativity of social media. I also don't, send negative messages to people. And I also don't really respond to negative messages. FYI, for anyone who, doesn't like the podcast, you probably won't hear back from us if you let us know.
Feel free to tell us though. We do read it.
We read it, but I don't engage with.
Yeah, because it's your opinion. You are super welcome to not like this podcast and to not listen ever again. Like, we don't want you to listen if you're not liking it. So, but if you are liking it, we're glad you're here. So yeah, but we're not going to try to convince you otherwise if you don't like it. That's fine.
Certainly we get way more positive messages,
way
which
more
I love.
Yes,
exactly. People keep those coming. If you appreciate the podcast and want to let us know you appreciate it, we love it. We would also love it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and let us know.
Only the people who love it.
Yes, if you love it. We haven't mentioned that in a while, but it seriously rocks my world when people leave reviews. So something else that I do that may help people, I have the notifications for DMs turned off on my phone.
Oh my God, me too.
I use DMs, yes, but I do not have them popping up on my phone, which I consider, kind of like, I wouldn't say a sacred space, but a safe space for me. Because I love my phone. I'm definitely one of those attached to my phone people, which, it is.
My phone is a temple.
Yeah. Well, because it's right here next to me. And so
it follows you around.
Stuff just popping up. So, you can turn those off. I will typically go into my DMs in the morning. And then if I quote need to be discussing something with someone, setting something up, doing, work related stuff, collaborations, I'll put it on my laptop so I can DM while during my work day. Mm-hmm. So I also limit my time. I do also admit, Claire, that I can get distracted in the middle of the day by scrolling. I don't know. I wouldn't say because I feel bored, but just maybe needing a tiny break or something.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm really good at not going immediately on in the morning. And I also don't scroll when I'm trying to wind down.
That's good.
So I might do other things on my phone when I'm trying to wind down.
Like what?
I'm known to play an occasional game of solitaire or something.
Wild.
I know, such a problem.
It's such a problem.
But my overall goal is that, I like to distract my mind with something calming and low key.
Yeah.
In like probably the couple hours before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if this, if very many people out there can relate to this, but I don't get too worried about my numbers or, people responding to my posts, that type of thing. I know other people, in this space do. That just doesn't light my light in any way. I hear other coaches and podcasters talking about, engagement and numbers, and it's not worth it unless you get this much. And I just don't care. I post things that I think people are going to like and that I like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a big one. I do not look at the accounts of people that I'm not on good terms with or that trigger me in any way.
Nice.
So like my family members, for instance, I, don't go and looking at their accounts, anyone who I've possibly had a falling out with, all of that.
Yeah.
And like Claire said, I use social media as a really great networking tool, which I am actually really thankful for. I've made multiple friends this way, colleagues this way. I got connected with last week's guest, Brian, through social media. I do this by sending positive intro messages to people and then being really supportive of my colleagues' accounts.
Yeah.
And it has been great for sure.
Yeah.
And, likewise, I only follow people who make me happy, despite being a very political person, for instance. I don't really follow very many political accounts.
Yeah.
I find that I get stressed very easily and overwhelmed. And so I'm glad that people are doing that. And I think it probably serves a purpose, but for me, I don't follow.
And also it's like they're preaching to the choir. Like you've got the messages, you are, you are doing the work outside of social media. You don't need to be convinced. I think a lot of these accounts are trying to like get people on board with an idea. I don't
know what they're doing because you're right. I mean, I suppose there's trolls out there who follow like, conservative person who might be, or anti-choice person who might be following a feminist account to be a troll. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of the political content out there is, I think a lot of people are following it who already agree. So for me, when I do follow a couple feminist accounts, and I know sometimes I see the posts and it just like, it reinforces how I feel and it makes me feel good. Like, but again, I already felt that way. So I don't know. This is a whole nother rabbit hole as far as online content.
Why are they doing
and
this?
The purpose and but
I don't know.
If you're out there
inspired,
keep doing your thing, but I might not be following you.
Exactly. And I think that's important too. If there's like people in your life that you're like, well, I don't want to like unfollow them because they're gonna notice. There's this thing called what is it? Unsubscribe or something? Mute. That's it.
I have so many people muted on Instagram because I don't, want to cause any rift or something or make things worse. If I'm really on bad terms with someone, I would unfollow. But you just go in, if you hide the post and then it gives you the option to mute someone permanently or mute someone for a month, and then you just don't see their posts. And it's all good.
And they can still see yours and they don't know that anything is different. So that's nice. On TikTok, I've found if something bad is happening in the world and your entire feed is like filled with it, go and search by a topic and then just watch that category. So, I'll do that with like, like running inspiration videos or something.
That's awesome.
Like, stoked for my run and not have to like see content about like Astro World over and over and over again. Or read a book or do something else.
Oh man, I mean, this is another topic that we could just completely go in because there's lots and lots and lots of more positive things to do. Yes.
There's so many other things to do. I am doing really well on my 50 book goal for the year.
Claire.
Where am I at? I think I'm on I'm on 15 books done. So
that's great.
Actually, I need to hustle. I need to
you're gonna
speed
get
up
there.
Actually, for 50 in a year, and it's May. I
mean, you know what? My secret is I read in the morning. I get up a little extra early. I make coffee and then I read for between a half hour and an hour every morning. I know it's not going to work for everyone, but you might want to consider that. And that's also another reason why I don't scroll in the morning is because I'm reading.
You're doing something else. Yeah.
And it's just such a luxurious, indulgent thing to do. And it doesn't, I'd rather be reading in bed in the morning than scrolling. Well, Claire, that was interesting. I would love to hear from people. If you had a positive experience with a digital detox, please let us know. If you like this episode, like we said, go ahead and leave us a review. And we also wanted to let you know there are more X-Files resources to help you. First of all, one of our early episodes, don't judge us for the sound quality, but episode 11, social media after a breakup, that was a great episode. I would love to have people go and take a listen. We talk about our own experiences. We talk about why you might want to consider, taking a break. And we talk about, do's and don'ts of using social media after a breakup. We get pretty specific about, things that people might be tempted to do after a breakup. And it's a good episode. That's a good one. I was looking at our notes from that earlier. Episode 31, the best things that we did after a breakup. We talk about social media. We talk about a bunch of other things that you might want to consider right now. And a more recent episode 90, to block or not to block.
Ooh. Block them.
Go ahead and push the block.
Go ahead and block.
It's not going to be as bad as you think it is. Everyone. And that's
it's actually really great because you won't know if there's any repercussions because they can't get in touch with you.
They should be blocking you and you should be blocking them 1,000%. Exactly. I mean, we want everyone listening to succeed and we want everyone to beat their breakup and heal from this and come out better on the other side. So, you know what? You might want to just consider taking some of our advice today.
Well, this was a good episode. I am excited to hear what you guys think. And we will see you next week for another episode. And, if you have any requests, please let us know in the DMs. If you love this, leave us a review. If you super love us, follow our Patreon. And we'll talk to your ears again very soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you liked this episode, please help others find us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or by following the show on Spotify.
And if you'd like to connect more with us and learn about breakup coaching, find us on Instagram at X-Files Podcast.